So Jared.
So Josh.
Why do underwater creatures glow?
Because they're underwater. Because they're wait, what did they call them in this? It was like, instead of UFO, it was like underwater unidentified. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they're that. I don't know.
Because they're trying to compensate for always being in the darkness.
Sure.
A little overcompensation.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time Film, a podcast where we discuss a director's filmography in chronological order.
Yes.
It's very important. Forces us to watch the good and the bad.
That's right.
We are currently on James Cameron.
Big Jim.
Big Jim.
I heard someone say that and it made me laugh. Does he go by Jim? I don't know.
I don't know.
People call him that, though.
I'm sure someone called it like he went by
Probably
that
like
when he was young.
his mom or grandma.
Yeah.
Jim.
But yeah, today we are discussing The Abyss. So Jared, keep your pantyhose on.
I had that one.
So my name's Josh, and this is my co-host Jared.
I'm glad I found another one. All right, I gotta make this will only work on video. You see this, Josh? They used to call this the hammer.
He's holding his fist up at
Yes,
me.
if you're an audio listener. Yeah. Doesn't really work if you're just listening.
All right, so this film came out in 1989, right before 1990.
Yeah.
It's PG-13. It's a first for Cameron. Like, I think all of them up to this point were rated R.
Oh. Yeah. I think you're right.
And 2 hours and 20 minutes. Not a first. Over 2 hours. He's always over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Soon to be always over 3.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the synopsis. A civilian diving team is established to search for a lost nuclear submarine and faces danger while encountering an alien aquatic species. I like how some of these, like the older films, are a little bit more spoilery in the this. Like nowadays, they would not include the fact that there was aliens in the. They would somehow allude to something else, and they would be like, and they might discover something else, or like.
I wonder, because I never watched the trailer. I wonder if they even show it at all.
Yeah,
because that would be weird to show it.
Yeah,
because that's a good surprise.
Yeah, like if Nolan was doing this, it would you wouldn't know until
no.
All right, so this is directed by James Cameron, written by James Cameron, and only James Cameron.
Oh,
I think that's a first as well.
I think so.
Like, which I think is going forward. That happens more often, but I think
that's for the good and the bad.
Yes,
of this film, which we'll get to.
Cinematographer Michael Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, some other little note, but this was kind of tail end of his cinematography career because then he kind of switched into directing and producing. But he did Backdraft, which was also kind of
that was a big one,
a very similar movie, technically, like. Other than the challenges of shooting underwater, instead there was challenges of shooting with all the fire around and all that stuff, and then Arachnophobia.
Man, I wonder if you remember this, because I have a very vivid memory of you and Micah watching Arachnophobia, and I was very little.
It's like I mean, it's like I've seen this movie, but I don't know.
Well, so I had to have been really young, but I was always afraid of spiders, and I remember watching that and having nightmares forever, because the only thing I remember is like walking in the room with you guys watching it, and I like immediately see like the queen spider, like the massive huge one that probably, if I went back now, it probably looks really fake.
Yeah, and not nearly anything as crazy as
but it was just
in Lord of the Rings or anything,
right? But a giant spider, and then I remember just having nightmares forever. And I don't think I've watched the movie since. But it probably wouldn't be scary anymore.
Yeah.
Although I do know they did a
what
lot
are the
of
directors? We got to get it on the list.
Yeah, we got to. I do know that they did use a lot of real spiders, though, which
wow.
is like...
Well, tarantulas are like harmless, so...
I can't stand them, though. Yeah, I know they are. I know they aren't. But,
So,
yeah. Anyway.
I mean, the theory is, right, like the more legs, the creepier the bug or the insect.
Not always, because...
Really?
I mean, centipedes have how many legs, technically? And I think spiders are creepier.
Oh, really?
You know? But that's... I mean, that's a little different, but it's technically they have...
So, yeah, like those creep me out more.
Really?
Like the 1,000 leggers or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the things with all the like little hairy things with all the legs. There's like, just give me the... Whereas like a giant spider...
Yeah.
Like, I think size obviously matters too.
Yes, it
So,
does.
so comparable sized, like
Yeah.
a daddy long leg or something that has like,
Oh,
it's like whatever. But anyway,
Yeah, I'll look up the director, because I have no idea who did that movie.
Composer Alan Silvestri, whatever you say. This
This guy's a legend.
yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm not going to name all of his stuff, but I mean, he did so many great older movies, but then like, I mean, he created the Avengers theme,
Yeah,
which is like
I was gonna
massive.
say that I wrote that down. So like,
Yeah,
you know, on IMDb they kind of have some of the top things you're known for, right? And Avengers, it was one of them up there because he basically he's scored all the Avengers movies. Back to the Future, which is also
yeah. I mean, that's massive too.
yeah,
Like making those two themes alone is like,
and then Forrest Gump.
yeah,
also up there.
love Forrest Gump.
So yeah, some and plenty of others. This guy.
Oh yeah,
has
there's a
done
lot.
some-
I didn't want to write them all down.
No. All right, so production costs. What do you think this cost?
Again, just like last week, it has to be more than the first big jump was last week's from Terminator. Terminator was like incredibly cheap still, but then jumped up a lot for Aliens. I remember we talked about that. This again, even though I'll get to with the overall thoughts, very similar, like, you know, crew, like you're following along like a crew, and they have to go do something. So it's very similar to Aliens, but I wrote down 50 million.
70.
Oh, wow.
Big jump. Because it was like 15 or 17, something like that for Aliens.
It was, but I also figured out, you know, when what he has to do for all the underwater stuff, just has to be
It's
expensive.
more challenging.
Yeah, because it's not like all this was fake. Like,
Correct.
you could tell it's a lot of underwater stuff for real.
Oh, yeah. All right, so Academy Awards. Nominee for Best Cinematography. Nominee for Best Art Direction, Set Direction. Nominee for Best Sound. Winner for Best Effects, Visual Effects.
Yes, which we will get to, because that's like the scene I remember the most, and that paves the way for the T2 effect. It's just like Avatar. He had to like wait. That's what it seems like to me. He like waits for the technology to get to like his vision.
Yeah. So, also on the cast talent side, not a ton of people recognize it. I mean, there's a lot of extras, but like but even the key cast, like there's a bunch of those people I've never seen or heard of.
Nope, me either.
So the ones that I wrote down were Ed Harris, Mary Elizabeth Mastranio, or however you say her last name. Michael Bean, obviously.
Yep.
And then Chris Elliott and Ken Jenkins.
Yes, I was going to mention Ken Jenkins.
Yeah, I love
Our
Ken
guy
Jenkins.
from Scrubs.
Yep, Scrubs.
That's what.
Cougar Town.
Oh, I didn't watch Cougar.
And then is he in Shrinking or Bad Monkey? One of the other more recent. Like is he
really?
Yeah, like a minor role.
Nice.
But yeah, Cougar Town.
Staying with Bill Lawrence.
Bill Lawrence. Cougar Town. He was like her dad, like the main character, Courtney Cox's dad.
That's
like,
great.
Like,
I just he was
like a
he was
senile.
amazing. He
But
was
he's
amazing
probably not even that
Scrubs.
old in the show. Like realistically, his
No.
actual age, as a real person, like he's probably not that much older than Courtney Cox. Just looks older.
It's so weird, man. When we go back to like, I don't know if we've talked about this on the pod, but even going back to movies in the 70s, and you see how the actors looked then, you know, and you're like, is this person in their 20s or pushing 50?
Yeah.
You know, it looks so different
Now
then.
it's like, are they the same? But it's because they're like, even when they're 50, they look like they're 30.
Did you see well, I mean, this has been going on a while, and I don't really know what's the data to back it up, but you see all, you know, everyone and talking about how millennials look younger than Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like an article about that. I'm like, I don't think that's the case, but maybe for some, I don't know, but like, I don't really know what would cause that, but I don't know if we're going through something else again, like the 70s.
Not sure, but yeah, I have seen stuff about that.
Yeah, but
it's like, we don't, you know, the kind of millennials are like, oh, you still look young. And then
right. But then like Gen Z's aging. But
it
yeah,
all
I don't know.
blurs, so then we all look the same age.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. All right. So overall thoughts. Let's start with you, because you'd seen this movie before or no?
I have, but there was very little I remembered. So then I was wondering if it was one where I just have seen parts of it, because I was watching it and I was really like thinking, how did they end this movie? And I knew like there was an alien aspect to it. I remember that because the first shot, which I think is probably the most iconic shot in the film, and what probably won the special effects, was the first shot of the water simulation when they see it.
Yep.
And that's what I remember the most about this movie. So I remember seeing that at least, but there was a lot of scenes I didn't remember. So maybe I'd never seen this all the way through until now. But so I really like the scope and the scale of the, you know, this is like a underwater, like sea odyssey type of movie. And I think he's always been good at that. And we'll see that as he goes, even with Titanic, then Avatar. Like he's always been good at that. And like that's really like his wheelhouse and what he likes. And underwater in general. That's obviously his thing. All the way back to Piranha. I do think this film is too long. I really felt that.
Yeah.
And not engaging the entire time to warrant the length, in my opinion. There was some really great moments. I think the main thing is I did not like the whole crew as much as I did, of the Aliens crew, which I'm curious what you think, because you didn't really I don't think you liked the Aliens crew as much as I did. So I think so that a lot of their like interaction I wasn't into as much.
I felt like
all the alien stuff is like the highlight though. Like any scene with that I think is awesome. But yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, I think I mean, I remembered this loosely. Like it's been a long time since I've seen this film, but I think I mentioned in the last podcast, we were, you know, talking. This was the next one.
Yeah.
The when I did see it, when it was like first out in VHS or whatever, I definitely saw it several times. So probably within, you know, a short period of time, I know I saw it a handful of times.
So would that have been when Aunt May and Uncle Fred were next door and we just like go over there and then just watch them?
No. It would have been when they were in town.
Okay. But so you would still go over then and watch this stuff. Okay. Because I remember just walking next door and, you know, and they would just watch stuff with them too.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, I mean, all in all, I think this holds up well. Like, I think it's, you know,
Oh yeah.
it's like the same kind of a dynamic of a crew, you know, going down and doing something, and kind of the tight quarters and the claustrophobicness of that, and creates tension. And of course now you're dealing with the water, and then you kind of, again, a little bit of mix of because there's not really bad guys in this,
No.
right? But but they have like a way to create some tension there too. And because like in the Alien movie, the aliens are the
There's a clear threat.
where this is like questionable, and and that's more the danger of like the things breaking or the equipment failing because of malfunctions or different things. And then of course the handful of people that think maybe it's the Russians instead of their aliens. But so there's a little bit of tension there, but yeah, but I agree with you, it's too long.
Yeah.
And as I started thinking like, this is we'll see how the other things, but like I feel like that might be a common theme going forward. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
True Lies, like I don't remember that being long.
True Lies is not long, but then like Titanic is
long,
very long. But I don't remember that ever. Like I remember that just being amazing.
Yeah, right. I don't remember it feeling long.
Right.
But
I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen Titanic.
But then I know the Avatar movies, even though they have a lot of action and they keep moving, it's still
very
like,
long. Also,
yeah. Yes. So we'll see.
We'll see. T2 is next, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't remember the length of that one.
I don't remember. I don't remember it feeling long before.
No, but I think that's
again,
just
it's been
like,
a little bit since I've seen it. So
that's like the one that's just gonna feel like, I think the editing of that, like that's gonna feel way more modern and like just like breakneck speed the whole time, because it definitely you feel that forward momentum, which actually the original Terminator we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Very good at that
good
too.
pacing from an editing standpoint.
So did you like all? That's what I wanted to ask you. The crew dynamic, like some of that, I was just like, how'd you feel about it?
I felt it felt a little bit more natural and
okay,
like not cartoon characterish, which is what Aliens felt like, I think.
Right, you didn't like Bill Paxton.
Yeah, but even like a little bit of some of the other like stuff with like just felt like a bunch of cartoon characters. And I think this was a little bit more. Again, like more.
They're
grounded.
arguing about actual.
Yeah, it just felt more grounded.
Yeah.
But nothing. But also at the same time, there's nobody you really cared about than the two leads from like a character.
Yes, and the thing is, because I really like where the movie ends up. Like I think the ending is really good, but our two main leads, I think that was another thing that like brought it down for me, was there's too much of them like just like arguing and like whatever, like separated divorce stuff that like they come back to a little too much. And I understand why they need that for how, what happens later, and when they get literally separated. But I don't know. It's like I think, and again, I don't know if I watched like this longer version or not, but
yeah,
it seemed like there's too many scenes of them just like arguing the same thing over and over again. I don't know if you felt that.
I didn't pick up on that as much, but again, maybe it was you, like you said, you watched it.
I gotta see what because you said the runtime. I'm gonna look up and see this other version is longer, or how much longer.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, while you're doing that,
yes,
let's just get into. I think the opening setup was pretty good with the action of the submarine just going under.
Definitely. Okay. This is crazy. So that's bad enough if you felt the runtime on the original. The Abyss Special Edition, which I did watch, didn't realize it was a special edition. 2 hours, 51 minutes.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
So 30 minutes of footage, it says, including crucial character development. This is AI, which Google AI, which I don't know, not always the greatest, but crucial character development and so this is the thing I was asking about. And the famous alien encounter finale, which that's what I was wondering about the ending, how it ends for you. We can wait to get to that, the ending.
Mm.
And it just says slight other variations, but I think that's what I heard.
Well, I didn't look to see
there
which
was a big,
version.
like, difference with the ending. But anyway.
Yeah,
we'll
I don't
there.
know which, but see, I'm going off of IMDb. I didn't look to see what I watched, how long it was.
Oh,
Like, I watched whatever was on Disney Plus.
okay. Well,
So,
I don't know on Disney Plus if they give you the option to, like, if they have both.
Let's see if I can.
I don't know. Because a lot of time on streaming, they don't give you the option for, like, if you want to watch a theatrical or a director's cut. Normally, they only have one version.
Yeah.
But yeah, so taking that into consideration, this basically was a 3-hour movie, what I watched. So it felt even longer for me, but I don't know if it was almost 3 hours, the version
It felt
you
long
watched.
to me, but again, like maybe I saw that version because now I don't know. There he is. Which version? This is on Disney Plus. Yeah, the best. The primary version of Disney Plus is the high definition 4K restoration, offering stunning visuals for underwater sequences. Some viewers report that Disney Plus carries the shorter theatrical cut, while the longer special edition director's cut with more plot, including the original ending, is available for purchase on other platforms. Okay, so I guess
you watched the short one. Okay.
So I must have watched the shorter one.
But you, because of you have a better TV than me, and you have the newer Apple TV. You're watching it in like you just said, like
4K.
very good 4K. I
HD.
still watched it in 1080p. I have a big screen, but it's not 4K. So some of the visuals probably looked amazing for this for you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get to that. I mean, we're jumping all over the place.
No, I know. I just
which is fine. It's not. But yeah, there was a couple spots. There was a little little, but like most part, yeah, their stuff really held up and looked good.
Yeah.
From a visual effects standpoint. Yeah, so the setup was good with the submarine, and then kind of premise, and then again, like we talked about, and then this like diving crew from the digging rig. I mean, I couldn't understand. Like it was like a underwater rig for digging or something. Like it was something that was designed for something else. That the military base was like, hey, we need you to help us.
I wasn't sure, but it is funny because even the premise, it's like they have a certain thing that they do for their job, but then someone else comes along and says, hey, we need you to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So like even that, like the aliens thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now in this, it's not necessarily like, oh, you're going to do this thing and it's going to be like incredibly dangerous.
Right.
Like they didn't really know that as much, but obviously we get all that later. But I wasn't sure the vessel was, like what it's supposed to be used for.
Yeah. They kind of loosely mention something, right? Of course, then we get the dynamic between the divorced marriage, the non-divorced marriage people. I don't know how you just.
They
still
get into
technically
it.
marriage, right?
I see. That's another thing that was kind of unclear because you see them argue a lot, and then she even points out, she's like, "Hey, you're still wearing the ring," and she's not. And then he's like, he mentions like, "Oh, this new guy or whatever," but then she's like, "Oh no, we're not together anymore." So I'm assuming just separate. I don't know.
Separated.
Yeah.
She was seeing somebody else. Yeah,
But they go back and forth a lot.
The ring into the toilet with the blue water. So ridiculous.
Yeah, that was
And then he puts it on without rinsing it off.
Oh, dude, that was gross.
So yeah, the military, blah blah blah. Then of course you have this like subplot of like the storm that's coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like the biggest thing I was kind of talking about is like the military involvement. You get the guy, they starts to get like whatever that's called. I forget now that he thinks there's a nuclear threat and stuff and he thinks it's the Russians, and then he starts cutting himself and doing a bunch of stuff. He gets crazy. And so that's kind of where you get some of the tension, where there's like a bad guy that's not really a bad guy. And
yeah.
But then they're trying to save this crew, and then the crew's all dead. So then it's like,
so that was the, when they first go on there and they see all the dead crew, and then, actually no, at first they only see this light. So I guess I would say that that's a good, like, that's a high point for me. I thought that was cool. That's the first time they see a light that's like unidentifiable.
Yep.
But I would say Lindsay's first encounter, which I guess technically would be after that, it's like so we can hold off on that.
Yeah,
I have just the main crew member that I really didn't like is Hippie, because with the rat, I was like, why does he have this rat? Like, I don't know. I didn't understand it.
Right. Well, it becomes useful when they use the
That's true.
exposition, or about explaining how they can do the deeper dives with the like oxygenated water.
Yeah.
Or the oxygenated liquid.
That's true. They had something to test it on.
Yeah. So
example before, Ed Harris. Yeah, they did with
later. He does it at the end, but
which is terrifying. Like that.
Yeah.
Showing that when he does it, like at first, like, scary.
But I don't know. Like it's funny. That's one of the things I distinctly remember. That scene with the rat.
Yeah.
And then and just the rat on his shoulder. Like there's something like, because it is like iconic, even if it's a little weird.
No, yeah, I know. It's just, but it's just like, of all things, like, why do you want a rat as like your main pet? Like, that's,
people do that.
I know. I just don't get it. And another thing I just have that I thought was pretty sick was they had you see a shot in one of the rooms. They have a full pinball machine and a whole soda fountain. I was like, that's awesome. Like, you see it quick in the background.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. I didn't know they had like all this extra stuff on their
rig.
Yeah.
I guess they're, living in it off it, like.
Yeah.
So then we get the shift of the priorities, right? Like, okay, the crew's fine, but then we have this other thing we've noticed, and we need to explore it. And of course, again, you got the couple military people that are like, well, it's probably the Russians. We need to attack or whatever. And then, of course, our main characters are like, no.
Yep.
So, builds up to the tension of the gunpoint. Guns could become part of it, and they're, holding the crew detained and so that they can kind of head out. And anyway, of course the climax of everything is then Bud has to go down. He has to use the deeper diving
technique. Yep.
Yeah, the liquid oxygen stuff or whatever.
Yes.
Like you said, and it's done well, and again,
it is
practical effect or whatever that it is.
So I'll say before that, because that's the other highlight is some of that stuff at the end.
Well, yeah, skip though, like where the iconic scene with the water.
Yeah, well, I already talked about that, so like we don't really need to mention that again, because that's like obviously the shot of the in water form on the ship is what I remembered the most. I think probably a lot of people, that's probably like and one of the things that made it win for visual effects this year.
Yeah,
because it actually, the
guy shuts the door even on it, and it gets cut in half.
Yeah, and I was like, it's like probably the first VFX water simulation that they could do at that time, and I was like, this doesn't look that bad.
No, it held up pretty well.
Yeah, I was surprised because like very primitive VFX, you could really, and I think it helps. Well, we talk about this all the time with like how good Jurassic Park still holds up, but it's like a lot of it's the lighting, right? Because if this is like insanely bright, you could tell a lot more. But like that first which I always go back to, is the first T-Rex encounter in Jurassic Park. It looks incredible, but it's like at night and it's raining, and that hides a lot of the, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say the other, because is my, before we get to the ending, Lindsay's first encounter afterward, where you really see the non-terrestrial intelligence. That's what I wrote down. That's what they said it was.
Right.
And you see all the blue and pink lights. Like that's the first time you see like that. Just an awesome visual moment, and good acting on her part too, because she's just like in amazement and wonder of it. And so like I thought all that scene was awesome. Then obviously we get a lot more of that.
Yeah. So then, when Bud descends, and then he does take care of the problem, but then he doesn't have enough air to get back. This is when then the alien shows up and takes him to over the trench a little bit deeper, and voila, there's a giant city there, I guess you should call it.
Yeah.
These like underwater creatures.
Which I thought was cool too, but this was probably the roughest VFX wise, is like when he's flying with it.
Yeah.
That looked bad.
When he's going through the tube and stuff.
Yeah, that looked bad.
Yep. That was the part that I was like, oh, this is a little rough.
Yeah.
But when he gets dumped, and then the water wall goes back.
That was awesome.
That looked so good.
Yeah, that was.
It
And that was
looked
such
like it had to be practical. I don't even think it was CG.
I would like to see behind the scenes of that one, because like that was. You're right. That was the other thing that I was like, that's so cool, and a cool way to visualize. Like they know how humans work, and like as soon as he's on there, it's like, all right, give him this much room, and then it'll be like him just breathing on his own and just normal oxygen level, and then they can just go from there. It reminded me of the it's like the bubble thing they did in Dune, which was really cool. That was more of a masking sound, but yeah, it was a really cool effect. And you're right, it did look really good still.
All right, so then he goes there, then they bring him to the surface, and they kind of save everybody else, because like the other rig, they don't know how they're going to get it back up and get the other people out. And of course, they only had so much time, and it was going to get too cold. So not only does it save Bud, but it saves the rest of the crew that's still alive, bringing the little underwater rig thing up. And then, of course, it comes up, and this was also, when it came out of the water, all this stuff looked really good too, impressive. Like it had to be miniatures.
It didn't look like CG.
No. But
really cool design.
Yeah, even seeing the one ship, like the battleship or whatever, like kind of teeters like it, because it's not shaped to be on a flat surface, and like nice little touches like that like really.
So that's the ending. So you still saw that. So what's the extra thing that they're talking about with the?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, because that was still there, unless I did see the. I mean, maybe that search was not accurate. Yeah, because then he comes up, they save him.
Because he walks out.
Yeah, he walks out from but they all get out of the thing first, and they're standing on the surface of this thing. And of course, the military's all like clueless in what's going on, and just like, and then he comes popping out, and then she sees him first and runs and hugs him, and everyone else is just there smiling and like, yay, he's alive. And it's kind of the end.
Yeah, it ends there. Yeah, pretty much. So I really like back when he's on the alien, whatever, but still underwater. I really like how this was like, they like start showing him like what's going on. And it's like, what I think is cool about this is it puts like a kind of like, I just watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind recently, which I never saw before actually, and was awesome. And because I was kind of going down like a Spielberg rabbit hole because I watched The Fablemans, but and that is very similar. It reminded me of this, where it's like extraterrestrial threat potentially in a film, but then they make him out to be like positive, like good influence instead of like a scary, like they're going to get abducted
Right.
and like you don't know what's going to happen. Because in this, like I really like that scene where they're like showing like, hey, we're trying to help and like show you like this conflict is I don't remember what they use a certain word for it. And anyway, so I like when they put a spin on it when it's like an extraterrestrial thing. And I don't know, do you know any other examples where it's like more I guess Arrival was kind of
I was
positive.
gonna say Arrival.
Yeah.
It's good.
Which
it was-
that's Denny definitely said like that. Close Encounters, I don't know about The Abyss, but Close Encounters was a huge influence for him
yeah.
on that.
I was thinking that's like a more recent, another recent.
And that's more
last
centered around
like,
language, yeah.
last 2 decades. Like that would be one that's like more in that same
Mhm.
vibe versus like because it is more common just to be like, yeah, they're a threat, kill them,
Mm-hmm.
which is aliens is but
It is funny. I know the Aliens film, but it's like it's not the aliens you think of. It's not little gray,
little green
little gray,
Martians.
or green, or yeah. It's funny. We'll cover Spielberg obviously eventually anyway, but watching Close Encounters, it's funny. You actually see like at some point like the little like tiny gray looking like typical what you think like what you see of the like the gray alien thing.
Yeah.
And I saw behind the scenes and it was just like they just cast like 50 like little girls and like put them in little grays because they all walk out. It's the only part of the movie that kind of looks silly because it looks pretty fake, but the rest of it, awesome movie that I can't believe I never saw. I'm assuming you've seen it.
Mm-hmm. But it's been a long time.
Really, really cool. Be a good actual. If you're fans of this movie and you haven't seen that, very similar. Like I said, it's more of a positive spin on a extraterrestrial threat, and like they just want to help. You know what I also love about that? Sorry, not to make it a pod about that, but they do all their communication through music in that. It was so cool how they did it, and obviously John Williams did the score, but like they go really nerdy into that, which I loved. It was awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk a little about cinematography and camera stuff. So obviously the underwater stuff and the scale of things is done really well in this, and
You can tell this is what he loves.
yeah,
doing.
it just looked really good.
And you said the cinematographer didn't win but got nominated. I think you said that was one of them. Was cinematography.
Let me scroll up and confirm.
So it was quite a bit
Best
of
cinematography nominated for best cinematography. Then it's always like, well, what won?
in '89. I don't
Yeah.
know. Can't think off the top of my head. Late '80s though was like an awesome time for movies.
In the 90s, early 2000s.
Oh yeah, there's
A lot of good stuff there.
mm-hmm.
Of course, was it 99? 99's like
99's like one of the best.
yeah.
It's insane. Yeah.
Just crazy. It's 10 years later. This is 89, that's 99, and it's like The Matrix, and that stuff was insane. Of course, like you said, Jurassic Park's kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
Is it 96? I want to say
94.
94?
I want to say.
All right. Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It was in the middle. Yeah.
I didn't for cinematography. All I had was basically the underwater stuff, and we already talked about the like water simulation VFX. That was like we already talked about. Actually, still looks pretty good, and obviously they won for it.
Yeah. Note about most of the effects are good. Few composites show their age.
Yeah. But then that's like the only thing with like older movies that really makes it feel dated for me. Because most of the time it's like let's say we talk about the first Star Wars. most of it's practical, and like everything in it like still looks incredible. So it's like these few like things. I think yeah, you're right. The composite thing, you'll see like if it's something like that, that's where it'll show its age. But then like everything else feels timeless because it's practical.
Mhm.
So it just still looks awesome. And even if you watch it like you did with this, like a 4K like super
Mhm.
HD, still looks great.
Yeah. One thing I also, the camera work in this is like really lets you see the stuff. Like it was one of the complaints I think I had about the Alien.
Oh yeah, you
movies.
didn't like how much it cut around.
Well, it was just very like close and like shaky and really fast cuts, and it's more just to hide what's going on because they
Yes.
didn't have the budget to.
Yep.
Whereas this does not do that, and
No.
I think that's I don't know. It also, I think it also shows a confidence in what you're doing, right? Like you don't feel like you gotta I don't know, excite it up, make it more interesting, exciting by doing fast cuts and whatever. It's like, no, you can just let it be. And so I think that.
I agree, because we talk about camera movement and like letting stuff just like breathe anyway, and like you and I are big fans of that anyway. So we love like long takes and like
Mhm.
that compared to like modern day like insane amount of cuts is like there's reasons for that
Mhm.
can be good.
Mhm.
But I love the slower camera movements, and you're really sitting with it, because you always talk about this, how much of a difference it makes you feel if you just got like these slow camera movements and it's not cutting. You're doing this long take, whether you're just seeing something or people running or walking around or talking even, but just a long take in general, like, because it's such a different feeling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, every time you cut, like a actual cut, relieves some tension.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about the music, but I just put those. I noticed it was also very orchestral, like, and I was like, there was a moment I was like, this kind of John Williams-esque, but like it's not. I was like, it's not John Williams.
No.
It's like I could tell it wasn't, but I'm like, it's kind of like that vibe a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good way to talk about it, because it's the phrasing, that's the main thing I can tell, like just how you talk about like certain cinematographers like Deakins, like you just know immediately when you're watching something. Like I can immediately know if it's John Williams, because he does these specific phrasing with his these like motifs that I'm like, oh yeah. And so obviously Alan Silvestri using obviously very similar, like all orchestral, but it's what he's doing with the phrasing, the melody is what makes it different. It makes it him. But I also love they use mostly with just anytime we're seeing alien stuff, use a lot of choir vocals mixed in with the orchestral stuff that I thought sounded great together. That was actually what I thought was some of the best parts. And it was like only when which makes sense, the more ethereal feeling with that is perfect for the.
Yeah. All right. Themes and messages.
I didn't write down anything in particular, but it's definitely it's the scene when he's at their, I don't know what you want to call it, underwater base or underwater city, and just the aliens showing like, hey, this is what you're doing to each other as humans, and basically trying to find a solution to where you're not destroying each other and the earth that you're on, like that seems to be the main theme for me with it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Did you think about that too, or is it? Yeah, something
Yeah,
different.
so I kind of did something similar. I put choose wonder and exploration over violence, and then also kind of like assume the best, not the worst. I
Yeah.
think that was kind of like some thematic things in there, like that we were trying to he was trying to convey, like, hey, just because something's different or something's happening, like not assume it's soon don't take violent action right away. And
Yes.
so, but you mentioned so what is, maybe that's the part that was added in, because I don't remember them showing him anything
On a screen, like in the water,
Yeah,
when Ed Harris is down there.
yeah.
Oh, okay. But see, that's way earlier. See, I thought that it would have to do with like the very end, because this is like right when they take him.
Yeah, I think that part was cut. I don't remember that.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's huge then, because that was like. So it's right after we just talked about the water wall,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he's there, and then what do you see now?
Well, they put a couple words up on, like, there's like some
But they
words.
don't show any.
They're like typing his thing, and I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, so it's just it's an extended part of that.
Unless I dozed off for like 5 minutes, but I don't think so.
Well, that's always possible too, but okay.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't there.
Because they showed, they do the text first, but then they show like it's almost like you would see like news footage, and they're showing like a couple different places in the world where like tsunamis or different things that are happening. I think that's what it was. Anyway, so that part definitely important. Like that was definitely effective to me. So still way too long.
Yeah. Do a little IMDb trivia. See what. So Ed Harris reportedly punched Cameron in the face after he kept filming while he was nearly drowning.
Wait, did he? So he actually felt like he was drowning?
It says while he was filming while he was nearly drowning. So like, I guess he was actually.
That's what I'm wondering. Like he was filming the scene where he's supposed to feel like, or he's supposed to be acting like he's nearly drowning, or did he actually?
I think it meant like he was actually like struggling.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Very few scenes involve stunt people. When Bud drags Lindsay back to the rig,
That's his name, Bud. Yeah.
That's really Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. No, that last name's weird.
I don't know. Yeah.
Holding her breath when the rig is being flooded and characters are running from water, drowning behind closed doors, and dodging exploding parts of the rig. Those are actual actors, not stunt people. That's why he probably almost drowned and punched him.
Yeah. Do you know
Ed here?
Do you know how they do underwater scenes normally, like to make it safe for actors? Do they just have like a thing they just keep giving them oxygen?
Not sure.
I don't know. Cameron would be the one to know. I mean, he does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything else now is CG, so.
True.
Ed Harris has publicly refused to speak about his experience working on the film, saying, "I'm not talking about The Abyss, and I never will." The only register with Harris speaking about the experience the movie is in the documentary Under Pressure, Making the Abyss. Similarly, Mary Elizabeth said The Abyss was a lot of things. Fun to make was not one of them.
Oh, okay. So that's why they don't want to talk. I was wondering, like, why doesn't he want to talk about it? So it's just like a
bad experience.
a horrible shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to have been
brutal.
brutal shoot and very long. I mean, the amount of footage they did for this, and I'm sure it was an insanely long shoot.
It's funny. During the rigorous and problematic shoot, the cast and crew began calling the film by various derogatory names such as Son of Abyss, The Abuse, and Life's Abyss, and then You Dive.
That's great.
Cameron said that he got so tired from working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, sometimes more, that he would sometimes fall asleep during dinner in bed, waking up in the morning with half a eaten plate on his chest and clenching a fork in his hand. Mary Elizabeth reportedly suffered a physical and emotional breakdown because she was pushed so hard on the set, and Ed Harris had to pull over his car at once one time while driving home because he burst into spontaneous crying.
So that first thing that I was going to say, that's happened to you, right, Josh, as a director? You've just been so tired after a really long shoot, and then you're in the middle of eating dinner and you're just passing out.
Yeah, all the time. Happened last weekend.
No, normally you fall asleep when you're watching something. That's
Just
normally,
watching,
yeah.
Just on the couch.
Yeah, that's the next level. If you're in the middle of eating because you're actively doing something. If you're falling asleep, then that's pretty bad.
Real oxygenated fluorocarbon fluid was used in the rat fluid breathing scenes.
Oh,
So it's a real thing. I mean, Dr. Jonas Kilstra and Dr. Peter Bennett of Duke University pioneered this technique and consulted on the film, giving detailed instructions on how to prepare the fluid. The only reason for cutting the actors' faces was to avoid showing the rats defecating from momentary panic as they began breathing the fluid.
yeah, but does that mean if you try to do that, like, is that going to happen to you? You're
Oh, yeah.
panicking?
Because you know what's going on.
Oh, sure.
The rat didn't know what's going on. Ed Harris had such a traumatic experience making the film that he refused to go into detail about it for years. One of the few things he said about it was, "Ask me how I was treated on the Abyss. Is it like asking a soldier how he was treated in Vietnam?"
All right, let's settle down, Ed Harris. You're not in Vietnam. I understand it was a bad shoot, but like, come on.
Cameron nearly drowned during production while he was weighed down at the bottom of the giant water tank during filming. His assistant director had failed to warn him to refill his oxygen, and realizing that he was running out of air, Cameron called for help to underwater DP Al Giddings. However, Giddings couldn't hear him. He was nearly deaf from an old diving bell accident. With no one else nearby, Cameron realized he had to go topside as soon as possible. He quickly released his helmet and harness and weights and started to swim with great speed to the surface, exhaling all the way in order to prevent lung damage from decompression. One of the safety divers held him down, gave him a regulator, but it was broken and only produced water. Cameron tried to release himself, but the diver, thinking that Cameron was simply having a panic attack, held him even tighter. Cameron only survived because he punched the diver in the face and reached the surface before passing out. The AD and the diver were fired the same day.
Yeah, I mean that's scary anyway. Like if you're not monitoring, or that you don't have a specific person. I feel like that wouldn't happen now. I mean, there was a lot more things like this back in the day on film sets. Everything now that wouldn't happen. Like they would literally have a person on set now dedicated just to monitoring that. Like that's their sole job. Like everything is on sets is like way safer now. Like that would never happen now. But like you say, a lot of times just CG anyway. But let's say you really are filming underwater now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would have a lot more.
I mean, they still film
precautions.
Water now. I just like I was talking about Avatar. None of it's all CG.
No, none of it. Yeah, it's all soundstage.
Yeah.
They do that like you would film a video game. Yeah. It's just motion capture. Yeah.
So Cameron was determined to actually film major portions of the movie underwater. He felt that the way most contemporary films shot such scenes, either slow motion filming on set filled with smoke, so that must be a thing that was done, or in the ocean with stunt divers, didn't look convincing, with the exception of The Deep. So he hired the film's underwater cinematographer Al Giddings. While searching for a suitable tank for filming during pre-production, he was advised of a half-completed nuclear reactor facility in Gaffrey, South Carolina, that was intended to be used as a movie studio. When Cameron was given a tour location, the unfinished turbine pits were suggested to serve as the tank for principal photography. However, when he saw the facility's nuclear reactor housing a 55-foot tall bowl, 250 feet in diameter, he declared that his structure was ideal, as it could accommodate huge sets and its walls would not be visible on screen. The reactor, designated A tank thus became the largest underwater set in the world at 7.5 million gallons, and the turbine pit was used as V-tank for miniature special effects.
Largest underwater set ever.
At that point, we don't know.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, has anything
I don't know.
since then? Interesting. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It's about...
You know what? Because you talk like there's obviously like famous examples of like insanely tough or like almost borderline abusive like set shoots. Like obviously, what's her name? Shelley Duvall in The Shining is like the biggest example where like Kubrick actually made her go insane. But like this being a hard shoot, but like even compared to like we covered Coppola in Apocalypse Now, like I guarantee that was worse. Like they literally were in Vietnam during like anyway. It's just I think Ed Harris is exaggerating a little too much. Well, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I'm just saying. But
can I've not been to either.
No, I want to know how his shoot was for Westworld.
Oh,
because I love his character in that. When Westworld was good, he was so good at that.
Season 1,
Man in Black. Yep, awesome.
All right. Well, final thoughts.
Still an enjoyable movie, but whether you watch, it is called like special edition, not director's cut, which then makes it 3 hours, or theatrical, way too long. So you're gonna feel it, because I definitely did.
I felt it, and I think I watched the
right. So, but besides that, there's some moments, especially that are some really incredible highs, which Cameron always is good at that. The spectacle.
Yes,
for sure.
100%. Yeah, I think this film holds up overall.
Does.
It's probably the strongest overall film so far, I would say, of his.
Really? More than Terminator?
Yeah, because Terminator, there's some rough effects in there, and it looks low budget. It
was very low budget, yeah.
Yeah, and then, there's
right, and you didn't like the aliens.
A lot of just like weird plot, like holes kind of things. It's just like, why did he just keep finding them?
Sure. Oh, no, yeah.
It's just like...
now, this would be curious. I don't know. I think Aliens looks really good. Now, I know you were talking about the, like, that's a different thing, but like the editing and all that, like in it, like what, you didn't like that, but like the way the film looks though, Aliens I think is really good. The true test will be in our next film that we're covering.
Yes.
Because another one I haven't seen in a while, but
same.
Very curious. I don't know how much more budget wise he gets with it, but I remember it was always one of the rare sequels that was even better than the original.
Yeah. Then we're talking about Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yes.
So we'll cover next week. So let us know your thoughts on The Abyss or anything else we've talked about in recent weeks and James Cameron stuff in general. And, you can do that by emailing us at feedback@screentimepod.com or leave a message or comment or direct message. And if you like, you can follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Subscribe on any of those. And also, follow us on the social medias for Screen Time Bob. And you can follow each of us on Instagram. I'm at JYoungBar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. Catch you guys next time.